Hello guys, and welcome to my first FIFA 15 squad builder video. In this episode, I'll be reviewing a no links wasted symmetry squad in the second variation of the 4-1-2-1-2 formation. So, without any further ado, let's kick things off with the goalkeeper position, where we've got the purple hero card of Steve Mandanda. Now, looking at his stats, this guy looks like an absolute beast with just under 90 ratings in diving, reflexes, handling, and positioning. He's also 6'1", which is a pretty decent height for a goalkeeper. However, in game, this guy was so inconsistent for me. I found him to be really flat-footed, and a lot of the times he would either dive late or just not even dive at all. And it just gets really frustrating just to see your goalkeeper stand still and just watch the ball go into the net, as opposed to actually at least trying to save the ball, I guess. In his defense though, goalkeepers in FIFA 15 are pretty rubbish anyway this year, but definitely expected a little bit more just because he had such awesome stats. Moving on to the right centre-back position, we have team of the season, Nkoulou. Now, this guy was the complete opposite of Steve Mandanda for me. Looking at his stats, the most noticeable one is his 87 pace, which I found extremely helpful in stopping those pacey strikers that you often come up against in Ultimate Team, like, Doumbia, or even like a record breaker Ronaldo, etc. Something I was slightly worried about though, it's the fact that he's only 5'11" for a centre-back. But this card's got like 95 jumping or something, and you can definitely feel it because this guy was literally just a brick wall for my defense. Definitely recommend Nkoulou if you haven't used him already. On to the left centre back now, and we have team of the season Chedjou from Galatasaray. And just from looking at his stats, you can see that he's also a very solid defender. I found that he worked really well with Nkoulou at the back, as both have good medium attacking work rates, and both players have insane defending and physical stats, which is really all you need in a centre back, other than a decent amount of pace, of course. I wouldn't say he's as good as Nkoulou though, but he's definitely above average and an awesome centre back overall. Alright, now we move on to the left back, and we have Alex Telles, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Tejas. Anyway, although this guy is a silver card, he feels pretty solid. I wouldn't say that he's that amazing or anything, but definitely gets the job done. I don't think he made any drastic defensive mistakes for me either, so he was very consistent for me, but wasn't anything too stand out though, but very, very solid. On to the right back now, and we have the pacey silver Syria right back Ignacio Abate. Now, all I can say is that this guy definitely lives up to his infamy. Again, not too much to comment on as he plays in the right back position, so not a huge game changer, but geez, is this guy fast. He definitely feels faster than 92 pace. He easily kept up with players like Neymar and Gervinho, and just look at this clip. Look at how easy it is for him to catch up to Ramirez, who's already supposed to be a really pacey player. So I definitely recommend Abate. Looking at the midfielders now, and our first midfielder is Alex Song. Now, this guy actually surprised me. Since his massive downgrade from FIFA 14, I honestly expected him to be really mediocre, but he turned out to be really solid at the central defensive role for me. I mean, it says this guy is 62 strength, but he definitely feels heaps stronger than 62. Also felt a lot faster than 71 pace, maybe like 77 or like 76, because he managed to keep up with most of my opponent's attackers, so he was really, really solid at the back for me. Very, very happy with Alex Song. Moving on to the left centre mid position, and here we have the superstar of the team of the season, James Rodriguez. Definitely lived up to my expectations and more. I mean, 16 goals and 7 assists from 23 games, especially from a central midfield position. That's just insane, man. I mean, this guy was just an absolute beast. Although he plays as a left centre mid in this squad, it almost felt like he was a left winger, just from how involved he was in the offense. 86 pace probably feels about right, but 90 shooting, I mean, this guy feels like he's got 99 shooting. I literally can't recall a time where I missed a goal with James that wasn't outside of the box. And if you know me, I'm not the best at long shots, so having scored several long shots, as well as in just a handful of games, it just shows how good James' shooting really is. It's not even just his finishing though. His penalties felt really, really great. His passing was just absolutely phenomenal, and his dribbling was also just really, really, really smooth. I definitely think that this card's a huge improvement to his regular FIFA Ultimate Team card, which I actually find to be quite underwhelming, especially now in comparison to his Team of the Season card. Pretty much every time I had the ball on his left foot, I felt confident that I would, at the very least, test the goalkeeper. I mean, it's pretty evident from these clips what this card's capable of, as it's clear I score some pretty ridiculous goals. Now, the last thing that I want to mention about this card is that not only was James like an absolute beast on the offensive end, scoring like these crazy, insane goals, because of his medium work rates, he actually tracked back heaps for me, and he helped both on offense and defense, surprisingly filling that central midfielder role really well for me. Overall, I've got nothing bad to say about this card. If you've got the coins to go buy him, definitely do it and just give him a test, because he's just really awesome. Moving on to the right centre mid role now, and we have Team of the Season Marchisio from Juventus. A very solid card with 80 plus ratings and all stats, 8 goals and 7 assists from 23 games. It's not bad either. Now, my one con about having Marchisio in this squad is that in this formation, James and Marchisio, they kind of act as though they're wingers, and I'm not too sure that Marchisio fits well into that role. Now, he definitely does well as a central midfielder, but maybe not so much as, say, a right midfielder, so I'd probably prefer having him stay more central. Nevertheless, though, Team of the Season Marchisio, it's still an absolutely phenomenal card. I was surprised to find that he only has like 77 strength or something, because he definitely felt so much stronger than that in game. He definitely felt heaps stronger than James at least, who's meant to have like 81 strength. Anyway, though, the reason why I say this is because there were so many moments where he'd just keep winning the ball back, seemingly like he's just forcing his way through the defense. Like, if a defender tackled him, he'll just win the ball right back off the defender. Also, because of Marchisio's high work rates, he'll also track back heaps, and I found this definitely helped out in the defense, particularly because he's also got like these insane defensive stats. Last thing that I want to say though is that Marchisio probably scored the best goal of this episode out of everyone in the squad, just with that insane Zlatan-esque heel flick. Moving on to the cam position now, and we have man of the match Ivan Rakitic. I'm going to start by mentioning that the 73 pace was extremely noticeable. He felt very slow, not particularly sluggish though, as his dribbling felt quite good, but there's no way you'll pace past your defenders with this player. Now, having said that, Rakitic excels at what he's meant to be good at. His passing was absolutely on point, it always had the perfect weight on it, and it made it much easier for my attackers to control their first touch. Furthermore, this guy is just a set-piece master. His corners would always be placed exactly where I wanted them to be, and he's exceptionally consistent with his free kicks. Another thing I'll add is that his defending is actually quite decent, which was surprisingly helpful at the cam position, where he could occasionally catch their defenders off guard. I think that Rakitic is a great player in FIFA, but maybe not the best as a cam though, since he's quite slow. I think if I played him in a centre mid position in a different formation, he'd do really well though. So overall, I think the player is really good, but maybe this formation and this position doesn't quite suit him. We move on to the right striker now, and it's Mario Mandzukic, who recently transferred to Juventus. Now, Mandzukic was quite interesting to play with because he's got high work rates as a striker, so he kind of was more of like a centre forward / centre attacking mid, as you can see, because he's got quite a number of assists. But despite this though, despite his high work rates, his attack positioning was actually very good. He always seemed to be in the perfect position for like tap-ins and like rebounds, so that was really helpful for scoring goals. Now, something that Mandzukic was extremely good at was heading the ball. He's quite tall for a striker at 6'1", so you pair that up with like an 86 rated jumping and 91 heading accuracy, that is a huge offensive threat in the air. The only issue with that was that in this formation, I didn't get too many opportunities to cross the ball, so I couldn't quite take full advantage of Mandzukic's heading ability. Regardless though, he was still a really good finisher, and he always managed to find himself sneaking into the correct positions just to get a good shot at goal. Overall, I would say Mandzukic is a great cheap striker to use if you like to cross the ball. The only issue is that crossing the ball is quite ineffective in FIFA 15, and you're probably much better off just using a pacier option, as your opponents, they won't be using slow players either, so you're probably better off with going with someone faster. Last but not least, we have our left striker, who is Jackson Martinez, who also recently transferred from Porto to Atletico Madrid. So as you can see, Martinez is our leading goal scorer of the squad with almost a goal per game. Now, despite Martinez having 82 pace, he actually felt a lot faster than that in game. It's probably due to him having a sprint speed rating of 85. Most of his goals, however, they weren't from actually pacing through the defense. They were from pouncing on the rebound or from getting tap-ins. I actually noticed that 82 pace actually wasn't quite enough, probably because we're nearing the end of FIFA 15 and they've got a lot better teams, team of the seasons are out, stuff like that, so it's pretty difficult to beat a Team of the Season defender with only an 82 paced player. Regardless though, he was absolutely lethal in the box. I found his finishing to be phenomenal. He rarely missed any one-on-one chances with the keeper. If I had to point out one thing though that he was particularly good at, it would have been his positioning. He always seemed to be in the right spot for either a rebound or a tap-in or an option to even pass to in front of goal. Ultimately, I think Martinez is the perfect option for a cheap striker who can do it all. If you look at his in-game stats, he's good at everything you need him to be good at. There's nothing more, nothing less. Overall though, I think that Martinez and Mandzukic they're two similar players to play up front together. It probably would have been a bit better to have a smaller and quicker striker with a taller and physical striker as opposed to just having two tall and two really strong strikers up front. If you have the coins and you want to have a pacier team, you can keep it no links wasted. You can just switch out Rakitic for Messi, and then you've got Juventus, Tevez, and Benzema at striker, or you can keep Jackson Martinez. Up to you guys. The reason why I didn't use those players though is because I know it's not the fastest squad, but I wanted to use strikers like Mandzukic and Martinez for a change, as opposed to the common pacey players we see every game. Other than that though guys, that's my no links wasted symmetrical card squad. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, let me know what you think of it in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.